This is the podcast, not an interview. This is a conversation. No gimmicks, just reasons. 84 reasons. Come holler at me. What up, everybody? I am being true. Yes, this is not a government-sanctioned mustache you're seeing right now, but shut up, deal with it. I'll talk about it later. I've been making my rounds when it comes to the University of Florida, but today we talking to royalty. We're talking about softball royalty. For those of you who don't know, basically, if you have to play the Gators softball team, you got to deal with a lot of stuff. We're gonna get into what you have to deal with. But my next guest finally had a chance to get it wrong. I mean, she plays so many positions, but she makes some money out there, in the outfield. But is a master of stealing bases, which we're going to get to that. The great Kendra Falby. What's going on with that, Kendra?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Now, Kendra, look, I just want to get into this. Your nickname is K-Boat. Where does that nickname come from?
So like when I started playing softball in 8U, like everyone had like a little like nickname on the back of their helmet, and they were like, you need a nickname. And I was like, oh my God, like I don't know. And like I just finished watching like Bolt, like the Disney movie, like the dog that's like really fast. And my mom's like, oh, Bolt would be great. Like, why don't we say K-Bolt? Because you're fast. So I was like, okay. And then it kind of just stuck, and it kind of came back full circle in high school. And I thought that it went away, but it came back.
When you hear the quote, I love when people doubt me, it makes me work harder. Where does that motivation come from?
Just always since I've been younger, like I've always just had people that never thought that I could do it. So like when you tell me I can't do something, it just makes me want to go and do it that much harder.
Now, you talked about Bolt, right? When I for those who don't, when you hear this term, 1, 2, 3, boom, what just happened? If we hear that,
I just stole a base.
Now, who came up with the 1, 2, 3, boom? Is because you say you just stole one, or Ken, or your team Skylar just stole one. When it comes to stealing bases, how much have y'all made that a weapon for y'all team? Because obviously, people walk y'all can bunt, y'all can slap, but when y'all get people on base, how much pressure do y'all put on them opposing pitchers?
Oh yeah, like the pressure's all on the defense, the pitchers, like the catchers, like, and putting like me and Skylar, especially being able to steal bases, that just gives our batters behind us a better chance to hit us in, because like being at second is like ideal, like that scoring position. So it's like getting to second base, like that's just giving our team a better opportunity to get us home.
Your dad played junior hockey in Canada, but you hold a record. For the junior Canadian team. I mean, when you guys won the bronze, you broke the record for most stolen bases in the tournament. How competitive is you guys' household? Your mom ran track at Florida State. I don't know what your little sister Miley does. I don't know if she made up her mind yet, but how competitive is that household?
Oh, it's competitive. Like every little thing. Like there's like me and my sister, like she'll be like running to the front like of the car, and she'll be like, oh, I'm sitting in the front. Like we'll be there 5 minutes before we leave. Like it's like the smallest little things. Like we've just always been competitive. Just growing up, it's always been like that.
So you are a Florida girl, chose Florida over a lot of schools. What is it coming off a sensational freshman season? But what I've heard about it, seen in my time there in Florida, but Florida softball, man, it's softball, SEC softball in general is crazy, but you get to do it. Is it everything you thought it would be and more?
Yeah, I honestly didn't really have like a perfect picture of what it would be like. I kind of just like came to Florida and just kind of let the ride go, but it's everything and more that I could have imagined. Just everything that they have for us, like from the facilities to the fans to like what we get, and like just everything, the opportunities that we have here is insane. And it's like everything. I wouldn't change it for the world.
The pressures of being a student athlete is one thing, but when you talk about the legacy of Gator softball. I mean, if you want to be done, it's been done. You guys are just one of the best teams in the conference, in the country. How do you live up to that standard? Because obviously everybody wants to add their legacy to the great legacies of the past, but how do you let that motivate you, knowing that, look, man, you can't hide when you play for Florida?
Yeah, no, you definitely cannot hide. We have I feel like it's like good pressure. Like it's not like a, oh my God, like, but it's like you signed up to be a Florida Gator, you know what comes with that. So I think we just embrace it and just know that like every single team that plays us wants to beat us and just kind of take that and run with it.
Is there a favorite opponent you like in the SEC?
In the SEC, personally, I like playing Alabama, but this will be my first time playing Georgia this year, so I'm excited for that rivalry because we didn't play Georgia last year, so I'm excited for that one.
What goes on? Listen, what goes on? Everybody knows about softball, baseball. These dugouts, a bunch of gum chewing, a bunch of sunflower seeds spitting. What is a softball dugout like, Kendra? I mean, I know it's crazy. I know y'all try to listen. We're gonna put on our nice faces, but what is them dugouts like, man? Come game time.
They're good. They're intense. I mean, like everyone's on the same page. So it just really depends on like where you're at that given point. But there's cheering. I mean, it's a chill environment. It can get really high in like competitiveness depending on like the game and stuff like that. But other than that, like nothing crazy, I don't think.
As much as y'all yell in softball, it's amazing y'all have y'all voice during the week. Y'all yelling the whole time, whether you're on the field. Like, is that just something like once the game goes on, y'all get to yelling? Because it's like, do they yell for like 2 hours and then they still got their voice the whole week? Or is it just a natural way of just being, listen, I'm a softball player, man. This is the energy that comes with it.
Yeah, it's really just energy. And like everyone's different. So like you have some people who will be yelling the whole time. You have some people who aren't, but I don't know. It's just like right when it starts and we get competitive, like we just go.
I got to take you back. I want to say it's March 14th, 2022. Young lady at bat, this team in Mississippi State. She comes up to bat and she smacks this thing. And all of a sudden she get to third base and the third base, he just, keep going. And all of a sudden you got to end what? In the field home run. I'm trying to say it the right way. What is that like? Like, because I mean, did you think to yourself when you get in the third, they wave you? Did you say to yourself, "Oh my God, I'm about to go for this thing"?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of cool because our left fielder just threw out the girl the inning before, and it was the top of the sixth, and it was a 0-0 game, and our left fielder Katie Kistler throws out the girl at home. And I'm getting up to bat the sixth inning. And like in my head, I was like, I got to do it. Like I got to make something happen. I got to get on base here. Like it's a 0-0 game. Like this is for the series against our first SEC series. And I go up to that and I hit this rise ball and I'm like watching it as I'm like going around first. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm about to hit that out. And then I see it fall. So I was like, oh crap. So I just start running and I immediately hit second base, see Coach Walton just waving me home. And I was like, all right, like I trust him. So he's like waving me home and then the ball soars. And after I was like, oh my God, like it hit the top of the fence and like rolled. I had no idea. I was just watching Coach Walton the whole time. And I was just like, he was waving me so hard that I was like, I have to put the burners on because I don't know where the ball is. I just have to trust him.
What is that feeling like though, right? Because obviously when it comes to softball, most experiences you've had them, but is that what every batter dreams of? Like, look, I want to hit it over the fence that way I can try it. I don't got to run. But you say, I got onto this thing, and you get in third, and all you see is Coach Walton saying, like, what? Like, oh yeah, you got to. So I can see your eyes going from big to real big, saying, I got to put the burners on. But you didn't get thrown out.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the dugout, what is it like walking to that dugout saying, dude, I just did something crazy only because I trusted. Y'all got wheels. I don't know if we the fastest team in the SEC, but we got to be up there. We got wheels. But did you guys have a debate after the game? Like, yeah, I know I'm the fastest. It has been proven on the field, Kendra. I mean, Skylar, or I'm just saying, like, what was that feeling like? Did it hit you after the game, or did it hit you in the moment?
I was just like, oh my God, like that was like, I scored, like this happened in the sixth inning and I just hit it inside the park home run. Like I was just like in shock. And then after, like, it just like, you could just feel the momentum just push after that. And then Hannah Adams walks and Skylar hits a 2-run bomb. Like it was just like the momentum just pushed us forward. I was just happy I was able to get it done for the team because I wanted to do it for Katie because she made that play at home and I was like, I got to do something. And I didn't think that was going to be it, but it was cool. It was really cool.
The incredible voice you can hear right now is Miss Kendra Falby, Miss All Everything for for the softball team, coming off an incredible freshman season on 84 reasons. No games, no gimmicks, just reasons. Not my reasons, Kendra's reasons. But Kendra, listen, there's a story out there about you for people who don't know. When you were really young, there was a story about batting, right? That you ain't swinging the bat, and then your mom was like, swing the bat, Kendra. You're like, I'm not swinging. Then your coach comes until you go, listen, man, I could just bunt every time. I could just bunt, like, were you that young to be that aware of the fact that, listen, I just got to get on, coach, I don't got to swing it? Like, did you always have that awareness, or just like that I guess that charisma to tell your coach that young, look, I don't got to swing it, I can just bunt to get on? Obviously, your game has come a long way since then.
Yeah. I don't know, ever since I was just young, like once I kind of figured out how softball goes and like I just need to get on base, like that's just my job. Like I don't need to do anything crazy, just get on base. I was like, I mean, you told me that I need to get on base, and the way I can get on base is just bunt. So, and he was like, okay, well, that's not going to work forever. And I was like, well, it's working now. And then I turned like 14, and like bunting started getting a little bit harder. And he's like, you have to swing the bat, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Kendra, obviously you have to balance it. You have to balance being a student and an athlete, because the demands of an athlete, it seems as though it goes up every week. Then you guys are nationally relevant. You're in the thick of things. You're at the University of Florida. What was there a moment your freshman year that you said, did you have a wow moment to say to yourself, wow, I'm doing it, but it's a lot?
Yeah. Kind of when SEC started, it was like after the Mississippi State, I kind of had like a little rough patch, and I just mentally like wasn't able to like do everything, because I mean, now like come March, that's when like our semester for school starts getting really heavy, and it got really difficult. But once I was able to figure out how to balance the two and like not procrastinate, because procrastination was something that really ate me up. So, and I was so tired, so I'd always be like, oh, I have a little bit time for a nap instead of doing homework, where now I know like, hey, like just get up, get it done, so that when the series does start, you can focus on softball only and not have to worry about school at all. So like now I have like a little get everything done in the beginning of the week, so that once Wednesday, Thursday rolls around, I can focus on just softball, and that's all I have to focus on.
Now, I know we already in the season, but, preseason, you have these lists come out. These All-American lists come out. I noticed you on there, Skylar's on there, Charlotte's on there, but one stood out. The top 50 watch list for the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year came out. And you and Skylar was on there. Now, I know Coach Tim Walton, which we'll get to, will be like, hey, just focus on the game. Don't read the papers or whatever. But he's like, hey, man, you preseason on the watch list. Like, obviously, your game speaks for itself. But what does that do for you? You being recognized nationally for what you bring to the field.
Honestly, like when I saw that, I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow. Because I was like, I'm like a sophomore, like I did. And like, I think for me, it's like I still just like I don't believe it, because like it's like that was just preseason. Like it's awesome, and I'm like I'm so honored. But at the end of the day, like I know that like I have to come out and prove myself every single time. So I kind of just try and leave that to the side so that like I can focus on my team and like where I'm at in that given moment.
What is it? Obviously, you're engulfed in the game, Kendra. You ain't look, but I've been to a softball game, and I went. Listen, I'm gonna get my age. When I was at Florida, y'all ain't got the new stadium y'all got now. Y'all was on another part. But describe to a person that doesn't know how a softball atmosphere is. Like people be like, listen, man, don't get it twisted. Like it's crazy. The heat, it's gonna be hot, but try to describe the atmosphere of the softball game, please.
Our like Gator Nation fans are they're awesome. Like they know, like there's been legacies of like different cheers and stuff. Like they know what to do. They know when to do it. Like it's great, especially like they're honestly like they're always there, but like especially like the high atmosphere teams. Like I think my favorite experience was when we were in the SEC tournament, because we got to host last year. Like just like it feels like our fans are on top of you because of the way our field is built. So it's great. It pumps me up, because like it makes me feel like, oh, I have me, my teammates, and then like 2,000 of our fans behind us, and it just puts all the pressure on the other team. So it's great. I love playing at home.
Coach Tim Walton, legend. Has done it all. in the world of softball, two-time national champion, back-to-back national champion, too many SEC coaches of the year to name, two regionals, super regionals, college, women's college World Series. What is it like being coached with a guy who has that type of pedigree?
It's awesome because he knows everything about the game. Like, I've never had a coach that knows everything from like the top to the bottom to the rules. Like, he knows everything inside and out. And I just love learning from him because he knows so much. And I've learned so much just being here for I've been here for almost 2 years, not even close, but it's awesome because he knows so much. He's coached at the national level. Like, he knows what it takes to win a national championship, not just once, but back to back. So I love him being my head coach.
Y'all team camaraderie is one that's hard to match, and that's nothing against the other teams at the University of Florida. Everybody think their team has the best, but I've seen you guys from the 1, 2, 3 boom to listen. If one of us get on base, y'all just looking at that picture like, yeah, the pressure's on you. To having a coach like Tim Walton, having the pressures of going to Florida, your catch radius, which Kendra, you got to make people sick. People be like, oh, that's gonna be a no. It'd be like, no, they're gonna fall with it. But y'all camaraderie as a whole, how much does that help y'all win more games? Because look, man, we love each other, we care about each other, and we support each other throughout. Meaning no lead is safe when they playing you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a domino effect. It's like one person goes and like the rest just follows. So our team camaraderie is awesome. And like we work together, like we know how to get it done. And it's cool about the team this year is because basically there's like 4 people who haven't been in the Women's College World Series, but the rest of us have. So we know as a team what it takes to get to the Women's College World Series, which I think is super cool.
Does that when y'all have that time, every team has an expectation. I get it, but like you mentioned, only 4 of you guys haven't been.
Yeah.
Does it make practice more competitive, training more competitive, understanding that, look, I know the pressure that come with being at the University of Florida playing softball, but we ain't here to just be here. We ain't here to just enjoy the ride. We here to be one of those last teams standing. How much better does that make you guys as a whole, knowing that, look, man, there is nobody here that can slouch. We can ill afford to have a weak link.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like when we do orange and blue series, like against each other, like it's competitive, like for sure. And like at the end, you're like, dang, why were we talking crap to each other in practice? Like we're on the same team, but it's just like we get so competitive, like just that competitive edge to like just want to win all the time, regardless of if it's I'm playing against Skylar and she's on the blue team and I'm on the orange team. Like we just want to win because we know what it takes and like we want to be national champions. Like that's the end goal always.
Kirsten, you're still very young. Your career had an incredible freshman season. But how would you describe it thus far? Because I mean, I know how, as a father of 2 young girls, I know how the softball circuit is, the volleyball circuit is. I know how your weekends. If you want to play competitive in college and you're a young lady, say goodbye to your weekends growing up. That's just it. You used to sleep in the cars on the way, getting out. Oh, we here? Yep, get the sweat out you. But what has been the most rewarding thing, even if it's only your sophomore season?
Learning how to overcome different challenges. Like freshman year, like there was times where I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, what is going on? Like, but then like looking at all of the hard, just everything that was going on in the season and then being able to dogpile at Virginia Tech and go to the World Series, I was like, I would take waking up at 6 a.m. 5 days out of the week, any single day to be able to go to the Women's College World Series because there's people that never get to experience that. And it was, I don't know, I would do it all over again every day.
Man, y'all up there in Blacksburg and it's crazy. Y'all like, we ain't got nobody but us. I mean, we got Gator Nation, but ain't nobody but us. We in hostile territory, but then you overcome it. And y'all, you overcome some, controversy, different things. That feeling of, man, it wasn't just handed to us. We're going to Oklahoma. Like we're going to the Women's College World Series. Yes, the end result isn't what you wanted, but are y'all a better team? Because y'all are an incredible team. But it's like when the team gets up on y'all, it's like they get nervous. Like, dude, we up by 2 runs. Watch what happened to these ladies. Do y'all got like a superpower that it gets like ignited once y'all down by? It's like if y'all need 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, y'all gonna find a way to do it. is that just something that do y'all practice like those type scenarios in practice, or do Coach Walton put y'all in inopportune situations to help y'all, battle your way out?
Coach Walton tries to make practice as hard as possible so that the games are fun. So like he's going to put you in uncomfortable situations and make you do things that you don't like so that when we get into game, it's not like, oh my God, I've never done this before. It's like, we've done this before. Like we're fine. And the cool thing about Blacksburg was that like we lost the first game 6-0. So like now our backs are to the wall. And like at that point, we all were just like, we have literally nothing to lose. Like it's either we do it, we move on, or we go home. Like there's nothing to lose. So like it was just kind of like we got to go. We got to do something. So we just tackled on the challenge and ran with it, I guess. And yeah, but he puts us in the most uncomfortable situations because he's like, practice isn't supposed to be easy. You want practice to be hard so that in games it's fun. So
where are you most aggressive at? Stealing bases or anticipate, like, obviously you're an outfielder, so you're looking at I guess you're looking at the hitter, anticipating like the sound of the bat or what may have, because your catch radius, Kendra, is it's pretty. It's almost like the announcer don't know what to say. That's gonna be that's called. It's like I thought it was gonna drop. What are you most aggressive at? Like anticipating the ball in the air, or looking at this pitcher's tendency, saying, "Listen, I'm going on this next pitch."
I feel like I'm aggressive at both, but I feel like I'm able to be more aggressive in the outfield because like the ball's hit, you just have to go catch the ball. There's no other thinking. There's no other anything. It's like, Kendra, just go catch the ball. So I feel like I can be more aggressive at that, but stealing and like catching the ball are like, they're the same, but like they're different. So like you have to be more on time because like the umpire's like watching you to make sure that you're not leaving early and like all of that. So you have to be on time. But then like in the outfield, I just love the outfield because it's just like the ball's hit and I just have to go catch it. That's it. There's no other thinking.
Okay, Kendra, you saying, I just got to go catch it, but you've been making some phenomenal. It's almost like the degree of you be catching balls that's like 2 centimeters from hitting the ground. You're fully extended. Does that just come from being comfortable out there saying, look, the ball gets on you very fast, by the way. I'm like, it's like trying to watch tennis back and forth, but your anticipation is a little bit different because listen, I appreciate your modesty. I appreciate your humble demeanor, but you nice out there now because what happens is I'm just looking at the batter, and they'll show him hit. They'll see you catch, and the batter's like, man, this Kendra chick, man, she's getting on my nerve, because it's like, is it where you position yourself in the out? Because sometimes where you position, what is it about you that, because I say outfielder is different than anything else, because like you said, it's just me. And if you don't catch it, oh my God, what is Kendra doing? Is it something? Is it a certain placement that you put your feet, or is it just all instinctual?
So Coach Thomas, who's our outfield coach, he does we do scouting reports and stuff. So he knows what's going on with the batter and where they hit and stuff. So he places me in places, and we kind of work together before the game where he'll be like, hey, this girl, when she hits, the ball tails this way or it tails this way. So I already have prior knowledge of who's up to bat and the way they hit it and stuff. And then I'm usually, depending on who's pitching, I know our pitchers and the way their ball moves and stuff, and how batters will hit the ball off of her. And usually in my head, I put in scenarios in my head, what could happen off of this batter. So I try to predict what happens before the pitch happens. So I kind of already have a feeling or know based off what the batter's movement is and what she's doing, where the ball's going to go, kind of in a way.
Speaking of anticipation, it's a runner on first. You at left field. It's a base hit. You saying, okay, this runner gonna try me. If it's a base hit to me, when okay, I got to throw her out. That's a long throw for those people who haven't seen it. When you make that throw though, when you look, I know she's going from first. It's a good base hit. She's going from first to third. She's getting waved in. Not on my watch. I'm not dealing with it. When you can get that beeline throw, it's not even a one hopper. You straight to the catcher and you get her out. Do you got to put the shoulder on ice after the game? Because you don't get to do that very often. But how rewarding is that when you see the ump go, oh, she's out there, and they look at you, just point them this is what I do. This is what I do every day.
Yeah, it's fun that. As an outfielder, you want those throws because how many times do you really get to throw a batter out? You don't really get to do that often. So it's you're okay, this you don't want to mess up. So I'm okay, I got to put this ball on a dot to home or to first base or wherever I got to throw it. So I'm ready. I'm always ready to throw them out every single time, because it's like you don't get to do that often. So
Kendra, we are definitely in the world of NIL. We sending, Gators Collective. Shout out to Ada Rojas and Jen and my producer Ryan and these opportunities. But the platform for young ladies like yourself to be bigger role models for young ladies, because we understand that whether I want to be or not, every young lady that plays softball saying, listen, I'm Kendra Falby. I'm going to the game, Mom. I'm going to be her. And the mom's probably saying, well, Kendra keeps her room clean. Well, you don't know that, Mom. But at the same time, you're smiling when you're playing. You understand what comes with being a high-profile athlete. But how much bigger has you guys' platform gotten with the focus of NIL and the microscope seemingly being on you guys?
Oh, it's crazy. Like, I know, like, being able to like sign girls' balls and like stuff like that. Like, I've signed shoes, I've signed like wrists, I've signed arms, like I've signed limbs. But like, so like that's crazy. But like, I think what's even cooler is like seeing girls come up to me and like they're wearing my t-shirt, and I'm like, oh my God, like out of all the people, like they chose me to like wear their shirt. And it's like it makes me just want to be like a better person, like on and off the field all the time, because I'm like, there's so much more eyes on me than I think. So like there's little girls watching my every move, and like I just want to make sure that like I'm inspiring them in the right way and not the wrong. So it's amazing just being able to see that like people, I don't know, not just my mom buys my merch, like little girls do too. So like it's super cool.
I love the humility. I know how crazy it can be, 19, 20 years old. And they saying, Kendra, and your back is to them. And then you turn around and they all got your shirt on. And you like, man, like this is, because like you said, it's almost like saying what NIL does is, it does for a person like yourself what it's supposed to do. They were gonna make a Kendrick, a Falby shirt anyway. Now I can just go buy it, but at least I know what my impact is. It's one thing that I kind of know what it is, but now I can see it.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the same faces home and away. They're going to away games to see us. I'm looking in the outfield. I got a section. I'm throwing balls if they let y'all throw balls to the fans. Just hope because they should. But at the same time, because you represent the dream. There isn't a young lady that plays softball that don't want to be in your position, but they look at how you play, and they look at how you are. Because how you play is on the field, how you are is when you walk up to them and you sign autographs and you get, I love you. And you be like, well, I love you too. Like, see, she loves me, Mom, and stuff like that. But you've earned that, because I know you arrived at the University of Florida. It wasn't easy. I don't even want to know how many games you played. You just lose count. You just get used to saying my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. You got Ben Gay on, and you 15 years old, 14 years old. Ice became your best friend. But with everything, if you could, what would you say, to your mom Jennifer, to your dad Kent, to your little sister Miley? Because they're the ones that Miley's like, are we going somewhere again? That's right, get in the car, Miley. Kendra has to. What do you say to your mom and dad, little sister who was there for the whole ride?
Thank you. Like, thank you for putting up with me, like being angry that I had to go on a tournament again, and like talking me off the ledge, because there were times where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go hang out with my friends. Like, I want to go to homecoming. I want to go to prom. Like, I want to do all of that. And my mom's like, I promise, like, it'll work out. And of course, like, I'm like, what, 15, 16 years old? Like, yeah, you always say that. You've been saying that. And like, honestly, just like, thank you for like believing that I could do it. And then like, I hope that it's paying off, which I think it is.
Oh, Kendra, it's definitely playing off. I mean, she is Kendra Falby. She can do it all. Steal bases. I mean, the catch radius. And if you try her from first to third, that's what I want. I got the arm ready today. I got a cannon in this shoulder, left shoulder to get you right. But more than that, as great as a player as you are, even greater person, the hardest thing about sports is understand what you mean to it and what you mean to the people who watch it. Well, the people who watch it are letting you know, you obviously understand the significance of the Tim Walton. He can't go anywhere. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest softball coach in college history. Yes, I am biased. Get mad at me. But guess what? Kendra is my first softball superstar. Won't be my last. I'm happy I started with Miss Kendra Falby, the super duper star. She can play shortstop, but she makes some money out there in the outfield. And look, if she gets on base, whether it's a bunt, if she gets on base, she's looking at the pitcher going, you done messed up. Because I'm getting, But Kendra, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time. Stay healthy, right? Please laugh as much as possible. Don't take it too serious. And look, we've already seen one infield home run. I think you should try to go 2 for 2.
I'll try.
Kendra, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Thank you.
All right.